Hey there, folks! If you love uncovering mysteries and exploring the unknown, you're definitely in the right place. Don't forget to follow our channel so you won't miss this video or any of the wild adventures we've got coming up. And, support us by subscribing, liking and dropping a comment below. We really appreciate it. Ancient underground tunnels found in Brazil, and they weren't made by humans.
Deep in the Amazon rainforest, there's a massive cave that completely defies logic.
This tunnel stretches for about 2,000 feet, and it's so huge that a person could easily walk around inside it.
Its walls are covered in deep, mysterious claw marks.
But here's the kicker. It's just one of many.
If you head down to southern Brazil, you'll come across more than 1,500 similar caves, ranging from modest little burrows to enormous passageways.
But these aren't your average creepy bat caves.
Researchers call them paleoburrows, ancient underground structures dug by creatures so gigantic they'd make modern elephants look tiny.
Whoever dug these tunnels moved the equivalent of 800 elephants' worth of dirt.
I know it still looks like just a cave at first glance, but experts noticed something unusual. The walls are smoothly rounded, and the floor is remarkably even.
Water or erosion doesn't leave marks like this. It had to be the result of some serious digging power.
These Brazilian caves are the largest geological records of animal activity on the planet.
It's like stumbling into a prehistoric house built by creatures the size of cars. To solve the mystery, researchers studied the claw marks on the walls and realized they were probably made by giant ground sloths. Yes, sloths. That could weigh up to 9,000 pounds and devour a year's worth of your groceries in just 3 days.
And despite their size, they weren't solo diggers.
They likely worked in groups to carve out tunnels this long.
Scientists believe several sloths shared and dug the same burrow together.
Even giant armadillos may have pitched in, since they were insanely skilled diggers and lived there too.
But here's the big question. Why on earth would giant sloths or armadillos need a 2,000-foot underground hideout?
Good question. Scientists aren't totally sure.
It doesn't make sense that they dug these tunnels just to escape predators. After all, the caves were big enough for a saber-toothed tiger to stroll right in. Unless they had some kind of prehistoric security system, that theory doesn't really add up.
The best guess? Climate. Back then, things were colder and drier, and giant sloths thrived during the shifts between cool and warm periods. Their huge bodies usually helped regulate temperature, but extreme climate swings may have forced them to take shelter underground.
Just like modern sloths, the giant ones probably struggled to keep their body heat steady. Going underground would have been a great way to protect their young and save energy. After all, the bigger you are, the more energy you burn.
Some scientists think the tunnels might have had rotating tenants. One sloth moves in, digs a bit, leaves scratch marks, then moves on. Later, another sloth shows up, adds its own decorations and so on. Basically, a prehistoric Airbnb.
Evidence points more to shared time slots than private ownership. After all, these creatures weren't exactly social butterflies. Like today's sloths and armadillos, they mostly lived solo, except for a mother with her baby.
But here's the sad part. They're gone.
Giant sloths and their tunnel-digging buddies went extinct about 11,000 years ago, right when humans started spreading across the land and the last ice age was ending. Around 80% of all mammals weighing more than 2 pounds vanished.
And the prime suspect? Yep, humans. About 10,000 years ago, skilled hunters armed with spear points spread across the Americas. The animals there had never seen predators like us, so they were easy targets.
Once the giant plant-eaters disappeared, the big carnivores soon followed, because they had nothing left to eat. But hunting wasn't the only problem. Early humans probably disrupted ecosystems in other ways, making survival harder for the giants.
And then there's another suspect: climate change. Around the same time, Earth's temperature jumped from freezing cold to just mildly cold, about 46 degrees Fahrenheit on average, wiping out certain plants. And if plants disappear, so do the animals that eat them, like our giant sloth friends.
Most scientists now think both humans and climate change played a role, depending on the region. Either way, it was the perfect storm that ended the age of giants. Turns out, being huge isn't always an advantage. Giant animals usually live longer and reproduce slowly, which makes them vulnerable when disaster strikes. And once they vanish, it takes forever for new ones to evolve.
After the dinosaurs died out, for example, it took 15 million years before new giant mammals appeared. The last extinction, 12,000 years ago, just wasn't long enough for new beasts to evolve.
That's why today's biggest land animals, elephants, rhinos, bison, aren't new giants. They're survivors from that ancient chaos. At least we still share the planet with the blue whale, the largest mammal ever to live.
So, why did prehistoric animals get so massive in the first place? Well, size does have its perks. It protects you from predators and gives you an edge in the food game. If plant eaters got bigger and predators had to bulk up too just to keep pace. The environment also played a huge role. Cold-blooded animals grow larger in hot climates to stay cool, while warm-blooded giants thrive in cold places to stay warm. Some paleontologists even suggest that plant-eating dinosaurs needed those huge guts to digest the tough, woody plants of their era, like carrying a salad bar inside their bellies. Then there's oxygen. Back then, Earth's atmosphere had much higher levels of it, which was crucial for less efficient breathers like insects. More oxygen meant they could grow bigger and stay more active, like nature's turbo mode. And bones? That mattered too. Many huge dinosaurs had lightweight, air-filled bones. Just like modern birds. That made them strong, but not ridiculously heavy, letting them grow huge without collapsing under their own weight. Those air sacs also helped cool their bodies, which is essential when you're basically a walking furnace of muscle.
Modern mammals, though, are limited by gravity and biology. Bigger bodies need stronger hearts, lungs, and blood pressure just to function. That's also why whales beat dinosaurs in size. The ocean acts as a natural support system, with buoyancy carrying all that weight. That's how blue whales can hit a jaw-dropping 330,000 pounds without turning into pancakes. On land, that size would be a death sentence. So no, ancient giants weren't just weird nature flukes. They were the perfect mix of air, food, physics, and environment all working in their favor.
It's kind of sad that giant sloths, the master engineers of nature, are gone. But honestly, it saved us from sharing the planet with crow-sized insects or millipedes stretching 6 feet long. Yikes. Now excuse me while I go appreciate modern sloths. Small, slow, and thankfully incapable of remodeling the planet or giving me bug-related nightmares.
Finally, thanks so much for sticking around and listening. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to follow the channel and keep an eye out for future videos.